Hi, my name is Mark Dosch. I'm the grandson of Marcus and Lena, and the grandchild among many grandchildren of Marcus and Lena. What you're about to hear is an audio recording of Marcus and Lena Dosch, done maybe about 1990 or so, circa that year. Anyway, it was done by a child of the Walters family. And this child, I don't know who it was exactly, but they needed to do a report on the history of Karlsruhe, North Dakota, and they were asked to record somebody of elderly age that would have a good sense of the history. And so they interviewed Marcus and Lena, and they kept this tape for a long, long time, and nobody knew about the tape until about 8 years ago, when it was brought to my Wendell and Dosh's 80th birthday party. And so this is all for the cousins and whoever else wants to hear it, to bring back the history of Marcus and Lena.
First question is, when did you two start to come to Karlsruhe? What year?
What year did you come to Karlsruhe here?
Well, to Karlsruhe, well, there was no Karlsruhe when I got here. No?
Karlsruhe was later.
That was in 1905.
When he came to the old farm out there, he left.
Go to that farm south of
Don't record it, just keep a copy first.
Yeah.
Okay. How many people were there in Karlsruhe, or were there here about when you came?
Well, Karlsruhe was not here at all then.
No.
What about the
You see, the church was up on the hill. You know where it was, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that church got moved down here in about 1915.
How many?
See, I can remember some of that stuff. You know, like in 1914. See, my sister got married up on the hill here in 1914.
That's why I remember that date.
Yeah.
When did they move the Karlsruhe church down here?
In 1915.
Were there any kind of businesses or anything around here then? When did the businesses start coming?
Well, when did Karlsruhe come that you got any business there?
When Karlsruhe was.
Well, when some people got in, when they established this Karlsruhe.
What people?
Yeah, these are all coming in Karlsruhe.
Oh, well, I don't know exactly, but I know in 1911. I know in 1912 there was some business in town here yet. Then the train started to go.
Oh, in 1912, the train.
1912, yeah. But I know in 1910 there was no railroad yet.
Yeah.
I can remember that pretty good. And 1910, 11, I know there were poor years that time. No crops. No. And 1914 was a pretty fair crop. Well, see, like in 1912, it was a good crop. In 1913, 14 wasn't too much, but 1915 was a big crop. The biggest crop we ever had.
Okay. When you first came here, did they have like cars and stuff, or did you use horses and buggies?
Cars, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you,
Horses,
there
but
was no cars in 1913.
no cars yet.
In 1914, we had a car, the first car, around here. And Walters,
Benedict Walters.
and Walters, and we had the car. That's the only cars there was around this community. Then Walrus and we.
Niet de bolletje.
Huh?
But the bolletje kan koken.
No.
Nobody had a car.
Oh. I always thought the bolletje was the cruise money with.
Yeah, he was, but he was an old man.
Oh.
That was in 1914. And then, from then on, well, it's coming slow. Cars come in very slow, you know. Some people had cars, some people had no cars. But it kept on until everybody had a car. But I don't know, just, well, like Walrus and Lee and Rodegger. He had the first car. From all of us here, down the river, you know, probably where he used to live. Yeah. And I know that in 1915, we sold our car. And then we bought a car from Rodegger, and Walrus did too. Walrus bought 2 cars. They had 2 overlaid cars. But their cars were smaller than ours. Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. The main source of heat. What did you guys use for heat?
For heat.
Your house.
Huh?
We must house keep. How we heated at the house then?
How we heated the house?
Yeah.
Well, in a coal stove or something like that.
Coal stove and wood, what they had.
Like on the
Round belly stove?
Yes, yes.
well, we had in the living room, we had a stove. Let's see, we had one on the farm. We used hard coal. No, what they call, I don't know for sure, hard coal, I think. Yeah, hard coal. With a self feeder.
Oh.
Yeah.
You poured the
You
coal
see,
in
you put a pail full of coal in there, and then it burned out slowly, you know. It burned
That
all
was
night,
burned out, you
all
poured
night
more
or all day. It was no trouble. But the first stove we had was like a heater. Well, I don't know if there's any around on that no more. I don't think so.
No.
So we used lignite coal now, but we had a bit coal there in that stove every so often, you see.
Did you saw wood along?
Huh?
Did you saw wood and helped along with wood?
We put burn wood and anything.
In that stove.
Yeah.
Like in the coke stove, well, we generally use wood and coal.
Okay. Was it easier living now or is it easier living back then?
I'd answer, it's easier living now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference now between that time and now.
Why is it different living now?
Yeah.
Well, at that time you had to go chop your wood and carry in the water. You know, there was no, they had to carry the water from outside.
And then I
carry it out.
remember the time when we lived north of town. I was about, let's see, 6 years old or 7, something like that. I remember that too. We didn't even have coal that time. We could get coal, but we couldn't afford it to buy it. So they made, from manure, they made
I lived through those days.
Yeah.
Mischgetreidekwesties.
Yeah.
And then they made it into
Misch.
flocks.
Yeah. Made cakes, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We did that out in the sheep barn in Blumenfeld.
Yeah.
And then we brought
that.
we brought it in and dried it out in the sun.
Yeah.
We stacked it up, and dried it in the sun.
Yeah. Set it up.
Heated.
Yeah. In the wintertime we brought it in and kept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we went to the river and get some wood, you know. With the hay rack, well, for $1 a load, you could buy a hay rack full of lumber, or wood, or burning.
Okay. Like around here, a lot of people speak German.
Well, at that time, what would I say now? How's that?
A lot of people still speak German. You guys still speak German a lot too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we speak quite a bit. But like when Helen and Fred are here and we play cards and Tony Evans, we speak English all the time. Yeah, just for Helen, and it's easier for her and everything.
Now in the summer, for cooking or anything like that, well, we pick up some cow pets. Mischkäse.
Cow pies.
Yeah.
See, and then when they were still wet a little bit, then you wait until they get dry, and then you tip them over on the other side. Then the next time when you went and got the cows, you put them into a gunny sack and you carried them home.
Yeah.
But everybody had to do that at that time.
I even did that, yes.
I did that a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a lot of change, I think.
What's next?
When electricity came here, did that really change the way everybody lived afterwards?
From electricity, before electricity and after electricity. Did that make a big change in your life?
Oh, yeah, I should say.
Oh, I should say.
I should say.
That was your biggest change?
Yeah, biggest change we've had.
We kids, we had to work. We had to get to work. We got to get up in the morning and harness your horses and put them on a plow or a trail and go out in the field.
And now they go to the tractor, see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the telephone? Did that make a big change?
That made quite a big change.
I tell you, when I was I was the main guy on the farm, I was the oldest one. I tell you, I made a lot of miles walking. I tell you, I made 30 miles a day, every day on the field. Walking.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. What about the telephone she's asking?
Huh?
The next, what changed was the telephone when we got that. That was a big change too.
The telephone?
Telephone, that was a big change.
Oh yeah, well, I know there was telephones around here in about 1908 or something like that.
Telephones
I remember when we had it at home, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got it in 58, telephone here in town, for us.
Oh, you had no telephone out in the farm?
No.
Oh.
No telephone on the farm.
When did you move into Karlsruhe?
46.
When?
In 46. I know. No. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the youth, or the younger people, are they different than when your children were younger?
Yes, they are different.
How and what kind of ways?
Well, like our kids work more than the kids nowadays do, because we didn't have any electricity and nothing, at that time, so our kids worked more, so that was a big change.
I always tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, that's a big change.
Like Margaret, our oldest daughter, she shopped, and like Genevieve, they went out shopping and helped with harvest and everything. Well, the kids nowadays, they drive truck or something, combining, and all that. So that's quite a big change.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's quite a big change already.
Yeah.
And children didn't have cars to drive in like your children and the grandchildren. Is there a big difference between your children and your grandchildren?
An awful big difference.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like in 1912, we thrashed with the horses yet.
That's too far back.
11 and 12.
11 and 12 with horses.
Thrashed with horses yet. I bet you never you'll see that.
No.
No.
We took pictures when Johnny Divers thrashed a few years ago.
Huh?
When Johnny Divers thrashed a few years ago. Then we went over with our kids and we took pictures. Just for the fun of he thrashed, a few loads.
Yeah.
Just so that our boys could see what it was like.
Yeah.
What, thrash with the machine? Oh, yeah, I started thrashing when I was 18 years old. Yeah, I run trash machine. I run trash machine 30 years. Any machine.
How much education did you have?
I'm going to answer that one.
What?
How much schooling?
Wie lang bist du in die Schule gegangen?
Oh, I don't know, about 3 hours.
3 hours a day?
No, all my time.
We both at first grade, that's all. I did in second grade, so did he. That's all.
Okay.
No, I got no education.
Neither one of us.
But I can run my business.
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
I can run it and put it darn good too.
Where did you live before you moved here?
Well, after we were married, you mean?
Yeah.
The farm where...
From the farm, when we moved in town?
No. After we was married, you was on the farm when we got married. You was pasturing out there for 3 years.
I was a farmer.
You was a farmer in
2
the
miles south of Karlsruhe.
Out in the farm.
about 2 miles south of here.
Yeah.
You know the place.
Yeah,
there.
yes.
In 1946, we moved to town.
46, we moved into town here. And I like it here.
Yes, yes. And now you got it real peaceful here.
Yeah, it's real nice and peaceful.
Oh, Helen likes it here.
I think she does.
She does. Helen likes it real
And in
well.
1930s, we was broke. We had nothing. In the 30s.
Well, not in Peru, so you know
Everybody else was broke too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
And I made it I made my money just in a short time.
Well, when did I make mine?
Huh?
When did I make mine if you make yours?
In the short time you made it.
She hauled school bus
9 years.
for 9 years, crippled the way she is.
But I could walk yet good.
But you walk.
Yeah.
You walk.
I'm
Come back.
Yeah. And then I drove tractor and I drove binder and everything on the farm. Yeah.
That's all the questions. Just whatever else you want to tell me, I'd like to know.
Yeah. Old times.
How
Mm-hmm.
many children did they have?
Yeah, how many children did you have?
We had 8, but one died when it was baby.
Would they have 7 living?
7 are married living.
How many grandchildren then?
34 grandchildren. And how many great-grandchildren have we got?
24.
24.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jenny's got 11 alone.
Yeah.
Jenny had 11 children. Has she got a lot of married ones already?
5.
5 unmarried.
It'll be 63 years now. 16. She'll be married.
Married.
63
years.
Well, and I wish you many more good. You have had a nice life together, though.
Yeah, real nice.
Real nice. Yeah, it shows all over.
Yeah, a real nice life together. Father come up this morning, we was just in. And he said, well, Miss Dosch, you think it's summer? You coming to church? He said, this icy road. So I said, she spread gravel where it was ice so I can make it.
No, in fact, if I on the hill, that's all the road that's wrong with me.
Well,
That's not so bad.
there's a lot
Well,
of people that worse off than that.
Yeah. Our Blanche, if you could only see, she always says, I don't care if I couldn't hear, if I could only see.
Yeah.
But she gave him a soul she can't see.
can't see?
Blanche.
Oh,
Her eyesight is
that's
so
bad,
bad.
yeah.
That's worse
She
than
comes
hearing.
here every year.
Oh, if I wouldn't have took my surgery, I probably would be blind too.
Pretty.
And I see good now.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ellen was in just a little while ago.
Oh,
She did supper now and then. It'll be over.
Yeah.
oh. We got invited over to Joe Leader's for supper tonight.
Oh.
I stopped there yesterday a little bit, and then Marie said, come over to Joe and visit tomorrow afternoon and stay for supper. But he's feeling fine.
Where's Buddy?
He's over by Joe now.
Oh.
Milkum and I, we're going to come one of these evenings.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's hope.
we are.
Let's hope.
Yeah, Yeah, it's all together different now. People don't work as hard no more. Not even 25% what I did.
You work manual labor harder.
I done everything by hand. Everything.
Well, I didn't have any push buttons neither. Where I cooked all those years, I tell you.
Yeah.
Chop wood and milk cows and everything.
Everything by hand. Shovel grain, stack hay, and everything. Everything by
Wendy is
hand.
on the farm now.
No, okay.
Randy's pretty sick.
Oh, poor Randy.
Taking the hospital like tomorrow.
Oh, he is.
He's in Lena right now.
Yeah, I had a lot of exercise.
That's not easy on a guy like that either. I think our kids are going to go through a harder life. Mentally, our kids are going to go through harder lives than we went through.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So watch it who you're going to get to get a nice husband.
Mm-hmm. That's your most important thing
That's
in
the
life.
most important thing.
Oh, yes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And don't.
Terry and Randy's was just nothing.
Oh, that was too
You know,
sad.
don't you? Terry?
Terry Nedwick, well, who was Randy Dosch's wife. Did you know Terry?
No.
She's too young. She didn't know her.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's just the main thing.
No, so far we've been lucky with our family.
Yeah, we were with ours too. Now with grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
just,
It's harder.
yeah, it's harder. Yeah, that's for sure.
And then I always say I give it credit for living on the farm. I think it's so much easier to raise a family on the farm
Than it is in town.
than it is in town.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yes,
could
that's
say.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. And this way, your own kids, they don't know what's going on all over. It's just your own family.
Yeah.
And if you had a bunch of children at home, they kept each other busy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 13 in his family and 13 in my family, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I got 5 sisters left now.
School isn't everything.
No, it didn't. We know that.
Experience, that's what counts. Experience, that's what counts. School isn't everything. There's a lot of kids come out of the college or anything, they don't know a damn thing. That's a fact.
They've got to learn by experience helps a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by work.
By work, you gotta know how to go in.
They gotta get the experience, otherwise they're...
You know,
Yeah.
this Terry, she can't even get a job. She had a job in Minot twice, and she was bossing, and she
Can't-
fired her right away.
She can't hold on to any
No,
job.
The
No.
same in Towner. She can't hold a job.
That's bad.
She's just too bossy. You can't do that when you go out to work.
And you know what I always said? I said, Wendell and Elaine were just the nicest couple.
The nicest couple.
The
Yeah.
nicest couple you could find.
Yeah.
And they've had their
Still
their
are.
share. Yeah. And they've had their share of heartaches.
Yeah. They got more trouble with their kids, you know, and they weren't brought up like that.
You know. I always see that Amy was with our Leanne so much.
Yeah.
And I used to tell Elaine that when she stayed overnight, I said, you've got such a nice girl. And I said, seems funny,
The way it turned out.
the way things go.
Divorced twice.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And she's by herself. She's done a good job with her. What's that?
You're alone. I don't want to be alone in life.
No, I wouldn't like
I
it.
wouldn't want to be alone in my life
Yeah.
either. No.
Yeah.
It sure is nice out today.
How old is Joe now, young brother?
62.
You ready to retire?
He'll be 63 now, February the 9th. Under 63.
Or the night?
Joe
Yeah.
is a year older than
So when was 62?
61.
Oh, 61. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's
He was 61 in August.
Oh. Well, Wendland got married a lot later than Joe, though.
He got married at 49.
Wendland? Oh, and I was married at 46 already.
I thought Joe would be 63.
According to me, my thinking, Joe is 63. Gets some pickleball.
Yeah.
Where's Mrs. Joe Baines going with her coveralls on and everything?
If she's going over church first. But she would need dress like that then.
Strumpfkörper und Snowmobile
Yeah, yes.
There's another couple. I used to always say they work so hard.
And how is it now?
Yeah, and get this out.
We always thought that they had money. Like Joe Baines. We always thought they were well-to-do until this spring, fall we heard.
Yeah, I said, and I always thought that they worked hard too.
They worked hard.
Sometimes I think Monica likes Pete because we own the Pete, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought sure he was a well-to-do man, but
That's too bad.
that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, are you done?
I brought over the school paper too. This year is,
How much is it?
don't worry about it.
Okay.
This year's the Halloween copy. I'll bring the Christmas copy. She said she had to run it off. And them are the only 2 copies we've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll bring them.
You read a copy of that, be sure that I get one of those.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, so. Every year when we lived over there, they come, school kids would come around, I'd buy it. Since we live in town, I haven't had it.
In those days, it was 50 cents. Nowadays, they charge $3.
I used to pay $5 over the house.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was much cheaper.
Well, it was heavier than this is now. Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
From when, before they were school buses.
that's to skip trips and never place.
Yeah.
But they don't do that no more, huh?
No. No. Once they call for them and they get into trouble.
Yeah.
We had a nice bunch.
Yeah, we always did.
We had several bunches that we took on their trip. And one year, Henry had the car and took a bunch. And Henry, he had the car one year and took a bunch. To the Black Hills.
Where the heck did they run?
To the Black Hills.
Black Hills, yeah.
Yeah, we always helped out. That was nice. Yeah.
Did you ask Cole? Did
they
you?
answered all.
Did they use horse and buggy?
Yeah, they said they did.
Yeah, well, Pete Jeffrey was along that time too. Pete Jeffrey,
Yeah, we did start though.
They said that.
but they used our tire. Henry used our tire.
Yeah, but there were 2 cars, 2 loads.
Not true.
Who were the first people that had a store in Karlsruhe?
We were the first people that had a store here in town.
The first people, well, let's see now. There was John Boser, Nick Beckler, and Sauer from Belfort. They moved the store out here from Belfort. And they didn't have it very long. I think they went broke. And they had sold out everything, auction sale. And then they had everything sold one night, but the thing was a fire. Burned out. And Jeffrey and Gutenberg, they had a big store over there where
I took it for fun.
Senior Center is. Yeah. And I think like Gutenberg, and he was the manager. And I think he goofed up everything, and then all at once the thing was on fire and burned down.
Couldn't make it.
Who was the first grocery store?
Huh?
Who was the first grocery store?
Well, the Catherine Gutenberg, they had a grocery store, and Bossett and Nick back there and Sauer, they had the grocery store on this side here. Where the 500 is now, that's where the grocery store was.
You graduated this year, Mike?
No, I'm only a sophomore.
You're only a sophomore.
There was quite a few changes. every other year, might say. There were so many changes that time.
Henry's coming home
Yeah.
next month from Alaska. Oh. They had nice weather up there.
Yeah, 10 above. I talked to her the other day.
And then John Bossett, he took England.
Implement hardware.
John Deere, that's all it is.